Welcome to everybody, to all of you, DG Lyle, PDGs, member of the Governor's String, fellow Rotarians, prospective members. Fabulous to have you on with us this evening. I've just got a couple of things to talk about this evening. These training sessions have been designed to give each of you the opportunity to get the best experience during your year, during the next year. These sessions go hand in hand with the courses on the Learning Center that we sent out to you. So far, not enough of the incoming officers are doing these courses, nor are they attending the sessions. Please, I urge you, in your countries, in your territories, reach out to your fellow clubs, ensure that they're attending, because these are opportunities not to be missed. We have experts at every session. Tonight is no different. Our resource this evening is one that we know and depend on. Actually, Marnie is one of us. Just don't tell zones 33 and 34 because they all think she belongs to them too. So take in what is on offer tonight. Ask questions. Feel comfortable to ask any question. No question is a silly question. So please sit back, take in what's going on tonight, and I hope you enjoy what is on the agenda. Thanks very much, and see you all later.
Thank you, DGE Sonia. Marnie was born in Chicago, Illinois, and currently still resides there. She began working for Rotary International in 2011 and continues to enjoy her position as the Senior Officer for Club and District Support of the Americas. Together with her colleague Alicia Pijal Avila, she currently is privileged to support 35 districts located in South America, the Caribbean, and the Southeastern US. Marnie earned her Bachelor's of Arts in International Studies and Spanish from Hope College in Holland, Michigan. During her studies, she spent a semester abroad in Santiago, Chile, living with a Chilean host family while studying at the local universities and volunteering at the community YMCA. In addition to her interests in learning about other cultures and the Spanish language, Marnie enjoys traveling, playing volleyball, and spending time with her young niece and nephews. It is my pleasure this afternoon to welcome Marnie to our District 7030 Prepets, and I'll hand the session over to Marnie now. Marnie, welcome.
Thank you so much, Luana. Thank you, Sonia. It is so great to be here with all of you, to see many familiar faces and also some new ones. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So give me one moment here. And I believe that should now be visible for all of you. So good evening, everyone. Again, it's great to be here with you, at least virtually, though I definitely missed the opportunity to be together in person. I am very grateful to District Governor-elect Sonia for the invitation to participate in PETS, as well as to your district trainer, Luana, for her help in getting me set up for this presentation. I'm excited to connect with all of you and to share a little bit about the support that you have from Rotary as you prepare for your new leadership roles. I'd also like to say thank you to each of you for taking the time to join this session. I'm sure it's not the first virtual meeting of the day for most, if not all of you. So thank you for investing your time and your energy into your growth as leaders. Your communities, your district, and certainly Rotary overall will all be better for it. So in the time that I have with you today, I will talk first about support from Rotary staff, including an introduction to the team that I work on. And then we will talk more specifically about the My Rotary website and Rotary Club Central. And lastly, as we shared before, we'll save plenty of time for questions at the end. I am part of Rotary staff, which is made up of over 750 employees around the world. We are led by our General Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, John Hugo. Rotary's General Secretary and the executive team oversee the staff in the world headquarters and in our international offices. And the General Secretary is a member of both the Rotary International Board of Directors and the Rotary Foundation Trustees. And for more information about Rotary structure, please feel free to visit the page that you see on the screen. Rotary's headquarters is located in Evanston, USA, although currently all of our staff from the headquarters are working remotely, so I'm based in Chicago right now. And our international offices are located in Brazil, Switzerland, India, Korea, Japan, Australia, and England. The Club and District Support Team, also known as CDS, is one of the few teams that has representation in each of our offices around the world. So this means that we're not only able to support specific regions that we work with, but during conversations that happen at the organizational level, we're also able to represent the needs, challenges, and successes within the regions that we support. Our CDS Americas team supports over 180 districts throughout the Caribbean and North, Central, and South America, with the exception of Brazil. Within the CDS Americas team, my colleague Alicia and myself are the two-person team specifically supporting District 7030, as well as the other districts that you see on the screen. And those numbers may not mean very much to you. So geographically, this covers the state of North Carolina in the United States, down to the southern tip of South America, and of course, including the Caribbean. Alicia and I both speak English and Spanish, and we really enjoy the opportunity to work with so many Rotarians from a diversity of countries and cultures. And although we unfortunately do not speak French, we do have several colleagues who do. So for my French-speaking friends in this session, please do not hesitate to email Alicia or me in French, and we will be happy to obtain a response for you in French whenever that's needed. So how do we work together with all of you? Our team focuses primarily on addressing questions related to connecting you with resources, interpreting policy for everyday application, supporting club and district operations, and of course, navigating the access that officers have to online tools, which is more the topic we'll dive into deeply today. As our name suggests, the Club and District Support, or CDS, exists to support club and district officers specifically. So we primarily focus our time and energy on engaging with governors, assistant governors, and club leaders. And I know we may have some Rotaractors in this session today. Hello, it's so great to see all of you and have you here. We do have a team that specifically supports Rotaract. So I hope that the information in this session will be helpful for you, but there is also a team that specifically understands Rotaract and all of the resources available. So for those who are leaders of Rotary clubs and districts, your CDS team is one of your primary contacts at Rotary. So now I'll talk a little bit more in depth about the specific ways that we work together with you. First, resources. We have an awareness of the wide range of resources that Rotary has available on a variety of subjects. And we are here to connect you to what you need to prepare for and carry out your leadership role. Resources can include publications and digital materials on a wide array of topics. online tools, including courses on the Learning Center, and of course, other Rotary staff who work with your region or who have expertise on a particular subject. One group we work closely with, and I would like to highlight, is our colleagues in the Rotary Support Center. This team is a great starting point if you have questions about the Rotary Foundation, including contributions and recognition programs. They're also able to provide general information about Rotary's programs and help members in your clubs with basic questions or issues related to setting up a My Rotary account online. And I want to note that they do have English, Spanish, and French-speaking staff on that particular team. A few other teams to be familiar with: our data services team, who can help with any manual updates to member and club data whenever needed. Your finance representative, who can assist with questions about Rotary International dues and the club invoice. And also your regional membership officer, who is Audley Knight, and he supports all of Rotary Zones 33 and 34 with membership development strategies and information. So we are also experts on Rotary's governance documents, so that we can help you interpret them for everyday use. These documents include the RI Constitution and bylaws, the standard Rotary Club Constitution, recommended Rotary Club bylaws, and Rotary Code of Policies. Each of these documents are updated by Rotarians, whether that's at the Council on Legislation taking place every 3 years, or at the meetings of the Board of Directors. And to share just a few examples and put this type of support into more practical terms, we can provide guidance on the process for selecting district governors, so this would apply more to district level leadership. We advise clubs on the flexibility that's available to all of you to update your club bylaws on attendance or membership types. We promote and train on procedures for creating a safe and harassment-free environment within Rotary. And more broadly, we educate and encourage Rotarians to be agents of positive change in Rotary policies. So that's sort of the policy realm of things. I think my slides got reversed a little bit there. But we are here to help you with streamlining, clarifying, and facilitating your role and responsibilities as it relates to policy. And one example of positive change and a significant update is our diversity, equity, and inclusion statement for Rotary International. This was agreed to by the Board of Directors and is now found within the Code of Policies and also on rotary.org/DEI. And the statement reinforces our commitment to Rotary's value of diversity and to cultivating an equitable and inclusive culture at all levels of the organization. Thirdly, we support club operations by providing guidance on procedures and helping to streamline those procedures as much as possible for club and district leaders. Most commonly, we help with chartering new Rotary clubs. We process the admission of new Rotary satellite clubs, and we can assist with club name changes or club mergers. If your club is considering one of these options, we encourage you to contact us early on so that we can provide support and guidance each step of the way. And lastly, we want to be sure that as a leader, you get the most from our website, My Rotary, and our online tools. So in addition to having access to the club and district administration pages on My Rotary, the following specific tools can facilitate and enhance your leadership experience. So before we talk about the tools, actually, we're gonna just take a quick look at My Rotary more broadly. This is the landing page of My Rotary, and if you've not yet done so, I encourage each of you to create an account on My Rotary. Doing so allows you to have some additional access based on your role, which can help you to prepare for your year as a club or district leader. If you have any trouble creating your account, you can contact my colleagues in the Rotary Support Center. Their contact information was on a few slides ago, but again, their email address is rotarysupportcenter@rotary.org. So I just want to highlight one place in particular on the My Rotary website, because I know that it can maybe feel a little overwhelming with so much information there. So as leaders, the best place to go if you're unsure where to find something is the Member Center. So a few pages to highlight within this section of the Member Center. You'll see that there is a link to the club administration page, and this is where you can add, edit, or remove members. You can update member data as changes happen, and this helps ensure that your club invoice from Rotary is correct. You can also add, edit, and remove club officers. So for all of those who are incoming officers, this is where you would go. Come 1 July, you'd be able to report the rest of the, you'd be able to report the people who are going to follow you. You can also update your club's meeting details, change your club's permanent mailing address and contact information. And you can view or manage membership leads on this club administration page as well. And lastly, you can view and download your club's invoice. Another page within this Member Center is reports. That actually falls under Club and District Administration. And this is where you can find information, data regarding your membership, contribution and recognition, My Rotary usage or My Rotary accounts, and more. The reports that you'll see there will be dependent upon your role as a club or district leader. Under this Member Center, we also have the official directory, which is where you can search and find information for members and clubs worldwide. And then lastly, of course, there is a link for online tools, which is the section we're going to talk about in a little more detail now. So first we have the Learning Center, which houses a wealth of training materials designed to help you learn new skills, prepare for leadership roles, and even share best practices on a particular subject. Many of the manuals that you may be familiar with from the past have actually been transformed into online interactive courses, and you can take them at your own pace and keep track of your achievements. I encourage each of you to spend some time exploring the various courses and encouraging the rest of your leadership team to do the same. These courses can help strengthen the leadership of your club and serve as a resource for gaining the knowledge and information needed to complete the various goals that your club might set for the coming year. And I'm also pleased to announce that the Learning Center is now available as an app on your mobile device. So it's easier than ever to access this tool. Another tool to highlight is our Brand Center. So here you can find resources to tell the story of Rotary and how you all are people of action in your communities, in your club, and around the world. This tool not only offers information on Rotary's voice and visual identity, but also makes available a wealth of customizable resources like brochures, flyers, PowerPoint decks, as well as free images, videos, of course, virtual backgrounds, and other resources. In particular, I want to encourage you all to be sure to use the template on the Brand Center for creating your club's logo so that your club can contribute to the correct use of the Rotary marks and to increasing awareness of our brand overall. We also have Rotary Showcase, and this is where you can explore the good work that we're doing locally and globally, as well as share projects through social media to inspire others. Within the last year, we've also expanded this tool to allow you to post about projects that you're planning and indicate what resources you might need for that, whether that be a grant partner or funding or volunteers. So this is sort of a one-stop shop for promoting your service projects and getting collaboration for them. And lastly, of course, we have Rotary Club Central. This is our online platform for setting goals, tracking progress, exploring data and trends, and also managing project activities. Everyone has access to, I should say all Rotarians have access to Rotary Club Central, but club officers have specific capabilities for editing and tracking goals. When I say club officers, that includes the club president, secretary, treasurer, foundation chair, membership chair, and a club executive secretary if your club has one. I do also want to highlight that we are currently working on expanding access to Rotary Club Central to our Rotaractors, and I don't have a date of release for that, but I can assure you it is being worked on, and we are gathering information to best understand what Rotaractors want from this tool and how we can best support all of you. So I've been asked to review Rotary Club Central in more detail, so I'm going to do a live demo of that. So if you bear with me for a moment here, I'm going to open up the live screen. Okay, so a special thank you to Lana and her club for allowing me to show their club's data as an example. You will always be taken to the dashboard first, and the dashboard is a high-level trend information area. So it includes membership trends, gender trends, age trends, as well as project-related trends and annual fund giving. You will always land on your own club's information first. However, at the top here, you will see that you have various tabs or options for viewing the information at the global level, the zone level, your district level, your club group level, or your own club. For the assistant governors who are in this session, you will also have this option to view the information for all clubs in the district, but that is specific to assistant governors and also district committee chairs and the district governor, of course. In order to make sure that speed and performance is as fast as possible, we have noted in various places that the data you see may be up to 24 hours delayed. So you'll see this note at the top of the screen, and then there will also be a note, an as of date that shows for various data points. So for here, for example, we see that this data is as of March 11th, so it is current in this case. I want to briefly show what this will look like in French, so that our French-speaking friends also get a chance to view what this looks like here. Again, we're on the dashboard, and so you still have these trends graphs and these options at the top here to view the data in different levels. So the heart of Rotary Club Central is club goals, and all goals are located in the Goal Center. So you can use this navigation menu on the left-hand side to go to the Goal Center. And club and district leaders can make updates for last year, the current year, or the incoming year. And the ability to actually edit or enter club goals is directly tied to the year that someone is serving in their leadership role. So, for example, a 2020-2021 club president can enter goals for this current Rotary year, whereas a president-elect, so a 2021-22 president, could edit 2021-22 goals. So the ability to select the Rotary year is right here at the top, as I've been using to advance. And those who have the ability to edit goals for a particular year will see an edit button. It will either say edit, or for the incoming year, if you haven't yet started setting your goals, it may just say save, and it automatically takes you to this edit view. So to enter a goal, the user has to click on this checkbox that's indicating that this is a goal that your club wants to work on. And then you would enter the actual number here. So I'm not going to actually be entering goals for this club. This is just an example. Again, those who can enter goals for a particular year are the president, secretary, treasurer, foundation chair, membership chair, and executive secretary. And district leaders reported to Rotary technically can also enter goals on behalf of a club. We don't necessarily encourage this, but it is an option in case the club is really struggling, maybe their internet connection isn't strong, or they just need some additional support. But in any case, the club would receive a notification letting you know that a district leader has set a goal on your behalf. For the assistant governors, you can only enter goals, for a club that is within your area or your club group. But it is important to note that any member can view the goals in Rotary Club Central for their own club, as well as aggregated information for the district, the zone, and the world. So to view more information about a goal to help inform the decision that you make about what goal to set, you can click on this hyperlink, Show Goal Details and History. And that will give you a bit more data based on Rotary's database and what your club has entered previously for goals and achievements in Rotary Club Central. Another great feature is the ability to print. So if you are a visual person, you're tired of looking at a screen, which has definitely happened to me a few times lately, you can print out the goals to share that or pass it along to other members or leaders within your club. And lastly, you can view a quick summary of your progress toward achievement of goals in the upper part here, right below your club's name. So again, I wanted to show this briefly in French. I know we've had simultaneous interpretation, and thank you to the interpreters. But I do want to show what this looks like visually. So we're in the goal center. You have the sections for goals at the top here, the option to edit or to save, and you would check the box for the goals that your club wants to work on, and then enter the actual goal. So within the goal center, you do have the option to set a goal of the total number of service projects you want to complete in a year. This would be in this service section. However, in the service activities section, which we are going to take a look at, you have the ability to add more detail about these specific projects that your club will be carrying out. So in this section, you can either add a new service project or repeat a past project. So the latter, this would be a project that the club at some point has already entered into Rotary Club Central. So we can see the list of past projects for this club, and you could have the option to copy that project and then update the data to reflect the new project that you're going to be doing. Below, you can see completed projects if those have been entered, including a summary of the involvement in those clubs in terms of in those projects in terms of volunteer hours, contributions, and things like that. So we're going to take a look real quick at what it looks like to add a new service project. You'll notice that some of the fields are required. So there's an asterisk indicated here, a project title, project summary, and at least a start date. And then you can also enter the end date. Once the project is completed, you would come back in here and mark it as completed. But to start, you can simply enter the information about projected needs. So number of volunteers, total number of hours of volunteers. So if we say as an example, we're going to need 10 volunteers, each giving 3 hours, we would have 30 volunteer hours. You can indicate projected needs for contributions as well as donated goods. And you can also select categories to indicate what type of project you are carrying out. And lastly, you can also indicate project partners. So the idea again is that you enter sort of the projected data to help your club plan. And then once the project is completed, you come back in and you enter the achievement. So this is how this page looks in French. Again, there's some required data to enter here, and the rest is optional, whatever is helpful for your club to include. So one final section that I wanted to highlight is the resources section. And this is intended to help provide you with links to publications, videos, and other resources that can help your club actually achieve the goals that you are setting. So the point is not to just use Rotary Club Central for the sake of using it or because your district leadership or I am telling you to use it. It's because it's a tool to help you accomplish your goals. There is a section here for actual resources on how to use Rotary Club Central. So if you forget some of the things that I'm saying here or you need a refresher, we have guides that help walk you through step by step how to enter a goal or update progress or view information within the tool. So I have been talking for a long time. That was a lot of information. So I want to give us now the chance to ask some questions. So I'm gonna open the floor up for that. I've seen a few things coming into the chat, and then if we had a moderator, someone who wanted to ask the questions out loud, I'm happy to answer those as well.
All right, yes, thanks, Marnie. The live presentation usually really brings out exactly how this is done. And as usual, you're extremely knowledgeable about this. We thank you for that. Now, we do have a couple of questions. Some of the questions that have been asked, you may have covered some of it, but I'll ask the questions nevertheless.
Sure, of course.
In your presentation. Mark is asking, can any board member access these reports concerning members?
Thank you for that question, Mark. Thank you, Liz, for relaying that. So the individuals at the club level who have access to reports are the president, secretary, treasurer, membership chair, foundation chair, and executive secretary if you have one. That would be the current leadership for that, and also the incoming leadership, as long as we know who they are, would be given access to view those reports as well. From there, if an officer wanted to delegate or share their access to another member who needs it, so somebody who's not one of those positions that I listed, there is that functionality available.
All right, thank you for that. Nikri is asking, what is the exact name of the application for the Learning Center, the app that you mentioned about, and they can use it on your mobile device?
Yeah, so it's not necessarily intuitive. I actually looked it up myself before this. I will put the link in the chat option. There is, if you sign into My Rotary on your mobile device and you try to go to the Learning Center, it will prompt you to download the app if you haven't already. But you can also use, I'm just gonna, 1 second here. I'll put it in the chat function in a moment here. And we can, Liz, we can go on to the next question while I'm
Okay, sure. Right, thanks. All right, Grayson is asking, from what date will incoming officers be able to have edit access to their club data in Rotary Club Central?
That's a great question. So as long as we know who those incoming officers are already, then as of today, they can go in and start setting goals. So that access comes as early as a year before you take office as a president or secretary. It just depends on whether Rotary International has you listed in that role in our database.
All right, so you need to update your club officers as early as possible to be able to have
Yeah, and that
access
would
to
fall
that.
to the current leadership to at least add the incoming president. Once the incoming president is added, that individual can add the rest of their leadership team.
All right, thank you. Simone is asking who is responsible for entering the data into Club Central for one's club.
That's a good question. I think that that is a discussion for the club to have. So technically we've given access to quite a number of people, and technically all of you are sitting here in this training, but that does not necessarily mean that you have to or should be the one to enter those goals. I think that that is a discussion for each club to have about what works best. And maybe it's that in a board meeting, you open up Rotary Club Central and you set the goals together. Maybe you have a discussion, a group discussion around goals, but then you identify a specific person to help input that data. But that is really a great question, and one that I would encourage each club to have.
Yeah, generally I have seen that the secretary usually is the person, but again, as you rightly said, nicely put, it is really a discussion for the club to make that decision. Marcus popped in another question as well. He's asking if they can create a report for members' induction dates. Is there any aspect of it? I'm not certain whether he's referring to Club Runner, because I mean that's a question I want to ask as well in terms of Club Runner and the link to the Club Central as well.
Sure.
He's asking if there's any report that can be created for members' induction dates. So like you set up,
Right. There is already a report. I am 99% positive. I just have to double check which report that is. But Mark, if you'd like to send me an email, I'd be happy to let you know where that is. And I can, if that's information that everyone is interested in, I can share that in a follow-up email to, for Luana and Sonia to share out with the rest of the group.
Okay, sure. Great, thank you. And Lisa is asking if all RI staff Rotarians, and do you need to be a Rotarian to be a member of RI staff? Perhaps she has some aspirations there.
So all staff are not Rotarians. I myself am not a Rotarian at this point in life. It's interesting, when I first started, there was very much an encouragement for staff to be in some sort of supervisory position or a manager if they wanted to also be a Rotarian. And that wasn't an elitist thing. It was more from the standpoint of balancing your life, because you do Rotary work 40 hours a week, and then to be a Rotarian, you're adding on to that. And so just balancing your participation, I guess, your work and your life. So I'm not currently a Rotarian, but my supervisor is. Several of my colleagues on our team are. And so I guess that answers the reverse question as well. You don't have to be a Rotarian on staff.
Sure. All right. I just, just to ask in terms of, because there are clubs where we use Club Runner. And if you can probably share some information on the link with Club Central, RI website, so that persons can get a little bit more clarity on that.
Yes, of course. So there is, and let me see actually if I can pull up, I'm not signed in here, but at least pull up the Rotary website, because there are several pages you don't have to be signed in to access. But there is in this member center, and then in club administration, the page I was talking about before, that is the section where you would also indicate if your club is using a third-party vendor of some sort. Sorry, one moment here. Not sure why it's not showing up in this version, but the other option for getting to the club administration page is manage. So once you're in this section, this is where you would be able to indicate if you are using a third-party vendor. And that then the idea is that you can enter information into Club Runner and it automatically gets pushed up to Rotary International. If there are issues with that, we encourage clubs to contact the provider, so Club Runner, to see why that information isn't getting pushed up to Rotary. But that should work. And then we do still encourage clubs at least once a month to check My Rotary specifically to make sure that your information is up to date so that your club invoice is accurate as well. So the way that you would check that is in that club administration page. And the website right now is of course telling me that I'm not a Rotarian and this is why I can't access this particular page.
Okay, all right, thank you. We have a couple more questions coming in. Stephanie is asking, should we register fundraising actions? Not sure. Maybe it's fundraising activities.
Yes. So should we register fundraising actions? I'm sorry, I'm reading the question here. Within Rotary Club Central, so there is an option to enter that information. One of the categories that is there in the service projects area is fundraiser. So you can enter that information if that's helpful for your club.
Yep. It's important to keep plodding on and playing around, and so you'll discover much more things that you can actually use.
Yes, and you can't break Rotary Club Central.
I mean,
so
Club Central,
yeah. Project. If you've entered something incorrectly, you can change your goal. If, you know, I think this past year in the pandemic is a perfect example. You may have set goals for your club and then we discover we're in a pandemic and suddenly you may have to adjust, right? And so there is that capability within Rotary Club Central. If you have certain circumstances that impact your club and you need to reevaluate, you can update and make those changes.
Right. Terry is asking, well, to be reminded of the policy documents. I presume he's talking about the governance documents, if it's available on rotary.org.
Yes.
Because he said, remind me, please, are the policy documents. I'm assuming it's the governance documents he's talking about.
Yes, so those are all available on My Rotary, specifically under this learning and reference section. And then there is a policies and procedures area. And this is where you can either learn about the Council on Legislation or you can access all of our governance documents. And of course, those are available in both English and in French. So the manual procedure, that would include the Constitution of Rotary International, the bylaws, the standard Rotary Club Constitution, and then these recommended Rotary Club bylaws. And then a separate document would be the Rotary Code of Policies.
Liz, you're done?
No, okay, so I was frozen for a while.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Right, yeah. The last question we have here is right. Last, I was frozen for a while. I was afraid that was going to happen at this time. All right, PAG Luan is asking, how can clubs designate an ordinary member who doesn't have full access to enter data?
That's a great question. So we understand that clubs have positions separate and apart from the ones that I have referenced. There are many individuals on different committees or simply helping out in different ways. So any club officer can delegate or share their online access to one other member within the club at a time. And we have a guide on delegation that includes information about what it actually means and how to locate it, but it would be within your profile section. You'll have the option to delegate one of your roles. So if you're in multiple roles, you can delegate each role to a different person. And if you have one role, you can choose to delegate that role. That delegation feature works once you are in office. So as a president-elect, for example, you have some access right now to view information and to enter club goals, but that's really just an advanced access. So in order to be able to delegate, you could do that as of 1 July. So once you are serving as president, you can delegate your role to somebody else, or serving as secretary, or whatever that role might be.
Okay, right. Thank you. So thank you for taking all the questions, and I'll just hand over to PAG Luana at this point. Thanks.
Thank you, PP Liz. PP Cheryl.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols observed. I have the honor of giving the vote of thanks this evening. Marnie, on behalf of PAG Luana and the district training team, I extend our heartfelt thanks for your insightful session on navigating Club Central and Rotary International's website. We all are aware that this information is very valuable for us, particularly incoming officers, to ensure that we are informed of the wealth of information and support available to us. And in this way, to ascertain that we, all in our various roles, get the best experience in our year, as DGE Sonia so indicated. Thank you to all our participants who took the time to attend the session this evening. You have been a good audience, and I urge you to encourage more of your incoming officers to register and attend all future sessions. It would be remiss of me if I do not extend heartfelt thanks to everyone behind the scenes who ensure the seamless execution of these sessions, the technical personnel, as well as the district training team. Once again, thank you, everyone, and have a good evening.
Thank you, PP Cheryl. And just quickly, some housekeeping matters. Again, we're encouraging all incoming officers and ordinary members to register for the remaining pre-PET sessions. The next session will be held on Monday, March 15th. It will be facilitated by PP Katrina Sam, and the topic is how to develop a strategic plan for your club. This topic will focus on helping you to understand the strategic planning process, and also a sample framework will be presented that clubs can utilize if they do not already have a strategic plan in place. Please also continue to complete the Learning Center courses and submit the certificates to me. Registration for PETS and DC, the district conference, is also open. Please utilize the $500 club membership option, which will enable all your members to attend. And many of you would have seen the email that went out yesterday from Conference Chair Conrad, requesting all participants to get their white branded polos ready to wear on Saturday the 16th, and about the Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th of April. So please, let's all try to get our t-shirts together. Reminder also to submit the names of your club trainer to the district training team so that we can be in a good position to commence training of trainers in May, which is not too far away. Thank you for your cooperation and for being a wonderful audience. And DGE Sonia, would you like to say anything?
Just my parting comments. Thank you so much, Marnie, as always. I learn something new all the time. And the only way you learn is by going on to the sites and exploring, as Liz mentioned. So thanks for taking the time to join us this afternoon. Just wanted to make sure that everyone understands that the clubs registering for district conference in April, with the clubs registering, individual members should not try to register. The clubs will get the information to you on how you will be able to access the link once the registration is closed and we're ready to commence conference activities. So please urge your clubs to register. This $500 US opportunity is a great one, which allows everybody to be a part of the sessions over the 2 weeks that we'll be doing them for in April. Individual members, please, that's not necessary. You will get the information from your clubs to sign up. So on that note, please go to the Rotary.org, the Learning Center, come and do your courses, read the books, read all the stuff, but please become informed and engaged. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I look forward to seeing you all on Monday.